Do you wish you could get virtual attendees to turn their cameras on? Is engagement the number one issue on your virtual meetings? Do you want your meeting to be the most engaging virtual meeting? Well, welcome to the Engaging Virtual Meetings podcast. In this podcast, we'll talk to the top people around the world in virtual meetings and give you, the listener, the best ideas to host engaging virtual meetings. Make sure that you click subscribe so you can get the latest episode of the Engaging Virtual Meetings podcast. Now, let's welcome your host, the author of the #1 Amazon hot new release, Engaging Virtual Meetings, John Chen. All right, I'm back from a 17-day, 5-city road trip. If you count, one of the cities was virtual, and I'm excited to be back here in my office, working to get things done. And it's really great. What am I going to share with you that I learned on that 17-day road trip? You know, most of them were conferences, and I got to tell you, AI is the hot topic. AI is definitely the hot topic. And for those who are on my email list, today you're going to get a mini book. It's going to give you the A to Z for engaging meetings. So if you want a copy of that, chat me your email address and I will send you a copy of something I wrote. And why is this valuable? Well, I want to give a shout out to Beth Z, who's my best nerdy new friend. And during her class, she showed the inspiration to do this. And me using Copilot in PowerPoint, I was able to also write a book in 45 minutes or less. That's why you got to pay attention to AI. And so there you go. Anyways, if you are watching us here live, make sure to subscribe, share, like, and comment. And if you comment a question and say hi, we might even answer it online. If you want all the episodes here, you can go to engagingvirtualmeetings.online for the Engaging Virtual Meetings podcast, new episode every Wednesday. And of course, I can't wait. We are getting now into the better parts of the planning phase of the Engaging Conference. This is my 5th conference. It's going to happen October 1, 2, and 3. You can actually get a free ticket here at engagingvirtualmeetings.com/CON for conference. And think about the VIP Zoom ticket where you can interact live. We're going to have one of the most engaging hybrid formats you've ever seen, as well as 150 people get to attend live and see all the behind the scenes about how we do that. But meanwhile, we have a great guest here today. She's an award-winning business strategist and mindset coach. Here, I got to cue your amazing music here. I think it should be this music. Then she's a keynote speaker, a coach, recognized as one of the top 10 up-and-coming entrepreneurs in 2023 by Success Magazine, a premier member of the National Speakers Association, and I believe hailing from one of our Canadian cities. Liz, please give a round of applause to Sara Gilbert. Hi, Sara. How you doing?
Good. How are you, John?
Fantastic. Geez, now tell me about your art. I just noticed. I believe is it wood or wood and iron that you have back there?
Actually, it's all in iron.
Wow.
I got it as a gift. So I can't tell you the story behind it because I got it as a gift.
Is it somebody special for a birthday? I just want to know a little bit how it came to your
Well,
possession.
it was when at one point we were living in a town and we were leaving that town. So as we were getting ready to move, a neighbor who became a really good friend, she gave them to me as a departure gift. So for the last 10 years, I've been carrying them with me from home to home as a reminder of that community and that town that I used to live.
Well, one of my favorite quotes is somebody told me, they said, there's nothing sacred except that which we make so. And so the fact that you have carried it around from city to city means that it has meaning to you, it might be sacred to you. So speaking of sacred, Sara, for my friends who don't know you, take a moment to introduce who you are and what you do.
So my name is Sara Gilbert. I'm actually from Montreal. So we were wondering earlier where I came from. I'm actually from Montreal and I'm currently in Montreal. Tend to move around sometimes, but so I'm a business strategist and mindset coach. So basically, I help entrepreneurs and leaders think differently, talk differently, so they can act differently and make a difference in the world their way. So I really help them in terms of the strategic alignment of their business and bringing a greater purpose. And you know how we tend to be busy being busy. I help them align everything in their business so they're instead of being busy, we're busy making a difference in the world. So in my inner circle, I'm known as the potentialities. So the person who sees, activates, and nurtures human and business potential.
Mm.
Because I find that, I get to meet extraordinary entrepreneurs and leaders, and we underestimate what we're capable of doing. So my goal is really, and my mission is really to help them see that so much more is possible and move from ideas to execution.
Well, I love that. I know when you post online, the word strategist is, of course, always next to your name. And I don't know if you have a story to share. You don't. You may not want to share the name of the person or the company, but I just love to hear, what's a result that you've been proud of that you helped make for somebody's company.
So I have a lot of leaders that own service-based businesses. So the
Yeah.
majority of my clients have service-based business. And once I'm hopping on a Zoom call like this with a client, and he's like, Sarah, check this out. And he shows me a video, and it's like a bulldozer in a forest. And I'm like, okay, what am I looking at? He goes, that's one of my clients who they're building a house, a mansion. They never thought would be possible because by you coaching me to see what more is possible,
Oh.
now I'm able to help them see what more is possible. And that's our responsibility. That's really how I see it. It's our responsibility of having this exponential impact with the capacity and the abilities that we have.
Well, it's so funny that you said mansion. That's kind of part of my story of the year is that I got to a chance to run all the AV and be one of the facilitators in a mastermind that was run in a Washington D.C. mansion. And so, for those who may not be into the personal things, though, that sometimes the mansion is a manifestation of a goal or a dream or something they had. And so, and again, other people manifest other stuff. So it doesn't actually have to be, you know, a uh, tangible
Mention.
object. Yeah,
No,
sometimes it's a thing. Like one year, I manifested when I had my kids when they weren't out of the house when they were still with me. I manifested I 12 weeks off of business to be with them. And
wow.
it's so funny. I was a member of EO at the time, Entrepreneurs Organization, and that was my line is saying, well, hey John, what do you do? And I said, well, I work at this company, and this year I was able to take 12 weeks off, and that was the number one thing. Those leaders going, how'd you do that?
Yes. Yes, because at the end, it's not about the mansion, it's not about the cars, it's about living like it's about self-actualization.
Yes.
So there, it's not as much as the mansion that they were proud, but the fact that it opened the door of potentiality. So for
Mm-hmm.
them, it's that. For some people, like last year, we spent 6 months in Costa Rica. That's an idea. For some people, it's to stop working on weekends. For some people, it's to start a business. Like we all have a version of that, but it's like, do I have clarity on what is my dream? And like I often bring my clients as like on my deathbed, I want to tell myself I gave it everything I've got. There's nothing left in the tank. What's your version of that?
Hmm.
Because nobody's on their deathbed saying, oh, I'm so happy I responded to all my emails within 24 hours.
I've got zero inbox.
So it's like bringing things back into perspective. Um, is yeah. So I am a business strategist and a mindset coach, but really what I do
Yeah.
is help people self-actualize.
Hmm.
That's really what I do.
And how does
So
that
I have
make you?
clients.
I was going to say, Sarah, how does that make you feel at the end of the day? I'm just curious.
I end up my days often saying, I can't believe I'm paid to do this
Right.
because I get to help people see what's invisible for them. And that in about the same token challenges me because I can't help you do something that I didn't do myself. So I grow throughout this journey. And by me leading the way, it opens the door to potentiality to my clients
Mm.
and other entrepreneurs and other leaders of saying, I never thought that could have been possible.
I
I
want to give a
didn't
shout
think
out.
that I could do that.
I want to give a shout out to one of our guests on Facebook Live, Mohammed Matley, who became here to this country as an immigrant and now is the CEO of his own diversity hiring company. Sarah, so what are some of the ways when you engage with a new client? What are some of the either techniques or strategies or processes you use to engage and connect with your clients?
So on the business side, I've developed what I call the strategic framework,
Mm.
which is a one pager, 8.5 by 11, which gives us everything in terms of how we're going to position, what's our brand promise, our intrinsic mission, our embodied identity, really all the key pillars of a business, and like who's our ideal client, what is our roadmap. And that really becomes the anchor for the business leader in terms of where are we going, where it becomes a filter for their decision. Is it in alignment with our vision, our clients, our values, our positioning, our brand promise, the embodiment of who we want to be? Because in this world where we're busy being busy, it's easy to lose ourselves. We get sidetracked by this next shiny object. We say get sidetracked by this thing that we heard about, this idea that we heard at a conference or in a book that we've read, or, I was talking with so and so and they do this. But it's not the lack of ideas, it's which one are in alignment with what I want to create, the difference I want to make. So, on the tangible aspect, I have the strategic framework.
Hmm.
And we all know that the intangible, the invisible is really what plays everything there. So my expertise is on psycholinguistics. So psycholinguistics, it's about understanding how words influence behavior.
Hmm.
So there, because really, when you listen to and pay attention how somebody talks, the words that they use, how they structure their sentences, even the tense of verbs that they use, you know exactly what's going on in their head. You know their beliefs, you know their fears, you know their pattern, you know their desires. It comes out. So psycholinguistics helps me help my client realize what's underneath, what's in a blind spot that's actually going to prevent us to make this vision and this impact a reality. So there's visible and invisible, like tangible and intangible aspect that I work on.
So I've learned it too as transformational vocabulary. It was interesting. I have a client and she loves to use the word shenanigans. So what would you assume? Like you've never met this person, Sarah, but what could you maybe hypothesize about somebody who uses the word shenanigans a lot?
Well, obviously depends on the context, right?
Sure.
But shenanigans, for me, it's so hear this. The brain thinks in concept.
Yeah.
We speak in concept,
Yeah.
but the brain executes in on concrete. So when I speak in concepts, my brain doesn't know what to do with it. So I probably, if I say something like, yeah, and there's a lot of shenanigans, I'm not actually labeling what's really happening to be able to actually do something. Because there is a saying that says, name it to tame it, name it to claim it also
Mm-hmm.
works.
Mm-hmm.
So shenanigan is one of those words, or it's like somebody that says, yeah, and this and that and this and that, and they generalize. That's often what we see. We often see those individuals not taking a lot of actions, not because they don't want, it's because there's no clarity.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So it's all muddled together, and it's like, okay, I don't know what to do with it, so I don't do anything with it.
Well, here's the other one that we have a big one too, and it was so funny. I was with my good friend Michael Dominguez, who's one of the top speakers in the meetings industry. He actually breaks down all the statistics of like what's happening in the hotels industry, which makes him one of the top speakers. And a woman was asking him a lot of questions, and she said, I'm sorry, but I got to ask another question. And I jumped in. This is one that we've done. We heard sorry in April of 2020 so many times, especially I'm going to pick on you a little bit. The Canadians love the word sorry. All
Yeah.
right. And we were just saying that people were sorry for things they didn't have to be sorry about. Everybody had the same camera problems, mic problems, dogs, children. That was life the way it is. So we actually built something that's called the no sorry zone, right? And if you can't read the text here, it says, I'm sorry is not necessary because we're all doing the best that we can. So my reflex when I hear sorry now is to tell people saying, you don't have to apologize to me, right? You can say I'm sorry somewhere else, but around me, you don't have to say I'm sorry unless you really hurt my feelings. And it was so funny. She was still subconscious, and then Michael jumped on it too. He's just like, stop saying sorry. And so she really had to work consciously to try and remove this word that she is unconsciously using all the time.
Yes, and there's a lot, like if we dig in there, there's a lot of things that are behind that. So there's always stories that we're telling ourselves, right? So we're telling ourselves or other stories. And I put stories in three buckets in terms of mindsets. There's personal stories. I'm not enough, I'm too much, or not really, but like I'm too old, I'm too young, whatever.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
we
yeah.
have family and society story? Oh, people who will make a lot of money or good people. There's like all kinds of family and society story. Like we're not that type of people and whatnot. And then there's universal stories, and those are the deepest stories that we carry. And those are, I don't matter, I'm not safe, and I'm not enough. So having a conversation with this person, I'd probably dig in to say which one of those three stories is most present. Because if I'm sorry, there's a probability that I feel that I don't matter. And that is my root story for so many things.
And that's a lot of people's root stories, despite them maybe being very successful in the outward world, correct?
And there's no link between the two because then we had layers of patterns and behaviors on top of that. But we have a lot of high performers who are high performers to show that they matter.
Yeah.
So this doesn't necessarily explain that, but the language also helps us to be able to put words on that question. Like I was doing a conference last week, and at the end, somebody raised her hands and she goes, "I have a small question." I'm like,
Why we what an adjective to put on that? Why?
"Hey, we're Canadian."
How many but how many people were in the audience?
150, 180 people around there.
And I just like my internal dialogue is going, why would you preface your question with small when you have 150 most likely leaders in the industry inside the room, right?
Yes, but that's what came out, right? That's why I say when we pay attention of how somebody speaks, you understand. And I'm like, okay, before I do answer the question, I want to say, you don't have a small question. You have a question. And I can tell you, you even have a beautiful question. But
Oh,
we downplay it. But just that one word tells you exactly what's going on. Like I'm talking with a client who has a really, really nice business. And he's talking and he goes, and it's a very boutique business. And he's like, well, I have a small business. And then he continues talking to everything. I'm like, okay, let's time out. You don't have a small business. You have a beautiful business.
oh, so beautiful is one of your words.
Well, yes, I much prefer having a beautiful business, a beautiful question
Than a
than
small
having
one.
a small one. But we downplay that. It says so much on who we are. So if I think I have a small business, am I
Yeah,
going to take big, bold actions? Chances are no.
yeah. I'm
If
a
I have a
beautiful business.
small business, am I going to, take the big leap? Probably no, because I have a small business, which generates a few $1 million a year. But for him, it's a small business.
But people who own other gigantic companies can say I have a small business compared to what?
Compared to what?
Right?
Exactly.
Speaking of compared to what, I want to give a shout out to my good friend Paul Howe, who works at Alhi. I think he still works at Alhi in Spokane, Washington. What's up, Paul? Hopefully you'll chat us a question. Let's move to this other part which is you did. I'm assuming you did a lot of coaching and probably continue to do a lot of work over virtual.
Yeah.
What has to happen for you? I'm going to go on the attendee side, right? You're not in control of this meeting. What has to happen for you in somebody else's virtual meeting or conference for you, Sarah Gilbert, to be engaged?
It's a really good question. I'm okay. I'll give you my answer, and then we can unpack it.
Sure.
It's getting a handle on my inner chatter
Oh,
and my measures of success.
okay.
So I remember when I started doing conferences several years ago, my measure of success was the quantity of notes people have taken.
Oh, interesting. Okay, good.
That puts you in the most miserable position ever.
Because
You have that person that's sleeping, that person that's on their phone, you have that person that are gone to the washroom, you have that person who never came back. Like these things happens, right? Especially if you have large groups, for sure that's going to move around.
yeah.
So how much pressure was that? So after one day ending a conference and everyone was like, oh, it's awesome, it's awesome, it's awesome. And I'm like, it's still never enough. I'm like, okay, I have to change my measure of success. And now my measure of success is, did I give it everything I got?
Hmm.
Did I have fun? And that's it. So when the pandemic hit and we moved to virtual, I was already doing a lot of virtual through my YouTube channel or my coaching. That's all virtual.
Yeah.
But I was able to flip to virtual coaching, virtual speaking, no problem. But all my friends who are speakers and who are, they drive on the energy of the crowd, and that's how they get it. They can't produce it. They had the hardest time adapting to the virtual.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like, no, because my measure of success is, am I having fun? And did I give it everything I got?
Yeah.
That's it. I don't own the rest.
I got to give this out as a shout out to all my speaker friends to listen to this. I mean, one is I want to give the assignment for anybody who's listening to this, right? Paul, Mohammed, is that one is pick a word and pick a word, especially that is probably not serving you. So we heard of some of them small, sorry, something else, and see if you can transform or change the word. Pick a different word, right? Sarah's was beautiful. Whatever that word is for you. So, and change it with there. And I think that's really a key aspect inside of that. I'm kind of curious, what's the event? And so I want to go back to the other part too. Speakers who start with the mindset that they don't like virtual, I think should not present virtually. Don't do it. You know why? Your minor belief that is sitting in here that I don't like virtual comes through to the audience. And they're going, well, that was good, but you're not great.
This is where our mindset, that's where everything is, right? So if I come with that mindset of I don't like virtual and virtual is draining and whatever, like that is the posture that I'll have.
Right.
But when I'm like, did I give it everything I got? Did I have fun? And then I just trust the process.
Yeah.
That whoever's supposed to get something out of it will get something out of it. And whoever is not supposed to get something out of it won't get anything out of it.
What's
I
a
don't
time?
own that.
Oh, sorry, Sarah. What's a time that you've had the most fun on a virtual presentation? I want to know.
Well, I'm every day. Like I'm on a virtual every day.
Of course.
Um,
Me too.
but
Almost every
it's
day.
like if I look, yes, and but what I really like in the virtual is the safety.
Ooh, say more.
Because I have pretty like I'm not a surface person, right? I go deep.
Yeah.
Even when we talk about the intrinsic mission about the business, it's not about what your business does. I really go deep. And what happens with the virtual is that first of all, the person, people are in their zone of environment, right? They're in a safety environment.
Yeah.
They're in their home, they're in an office, it's somewhere where they know. So there's a safety that comes in here
Mm-hmm.
that, okay, perfect, I'm safe. It's not too out of my comfort zone because I'm home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Second, that space between myself and the screen, when somebody asks me a question, when I ask, for example, people a question, they're able to actually go inside of themselves and deeper to get the real answer.
Hmm.
They're not pressured by the energy around them to get an answer or to fidget. So there's actually a lot of safety, and that's one of the greatest gift of the virtual, that and being able to listen to it over and over again. Um, but it creates that safety for people. So if you have a deep topic,
Yeah.
virtual is magical for that because I'm able to just step back because I have that space. I am in my home. I go back inside.
Hmm.
The answers are deeper, the answers are longer, there's more answers. The introverted now actually speak up, the extroverted actually slow down, and that is where you get the greatest magic. So it has a lot of benefits for the speakers. It's as fun, but it has a lot of benefits for the participants, the online.
Yeah, having that belief that there are advantages instead of disadvantages on virtual. There are certain things it does better too. Have you heard of I think it's Carmen Simon's work. Have you been following her? She just recently did they did the same exact sales presentation in multiple venues, in person, hybrid, virtual, and phone. And one of the unique things that she found was that virtual, like here on a computer just like this, was actually the best, that people responded the best. They were most likely to be engaged and most likely to buy rather than hybrid or in person. So she's like, we're talking EKGs and all sorts of other, brain monitoring and eye tracking equipment to let people know, because I really believe that a lot of people are making judgments without science behind it, right?
Well,
Like,
absolutely.
right?
Because it's also taking out of people's comfort zone, right?
Yes.
And
Change.
that's the thing, like the brain doesn't like what's unfamiliar. So this is unfamiliar for many, not as much as it was in the past, but it's unfamiliar and the nervous system doesn't like what's unfamiliar.
Yeah.
So yes.
Well, let's do this in two. You're a strategist, where therefore I believe there are times when you see not only your future but your client's future. What do you think the future of virtual and hybrid will be in your lifetime? Like, what would you like to see, or do you have a kind of a wish of what you would see in terms of virtual meetings?
Well, I'm more and more in virtual. So all my coaching is in virtual, and my programs that I deliver live are in virtual. And since again, like if I go back to psycholinguistic, which is something that I teach a lot and I speak a lot on, where my coaching is more on the strategy, the virtual, since it's being recorded, people can listen to it.
Mhm.
And then they can like, oh yeah, it's true. I say small. I say I'm sorry. I do say I can't. I
Yes.
tend to say I should. What did she say? Like, what can we say at the end? So they watch it and rewatch it and rewatch it because these are neurological patterns that we've been, habits that we've been doing for years and years and years. So it takes a while to get new habits in, especially in linguistics. So you'll listen to it once, you'll get one thing, and then you'll listen to it again, and chances are you'll get something else. So I have a program that somebody watched it again and they're like, "Oh, you changed it. You added this thing
Yeah.
in it." And I was like, "No, I didn't. But the last time you weren't the same person." The
Right.
program that program when he rewatched it was
Yeah.
the same one because he was rewatching a replay. And I'm like, "But you're not the same." So we get a compounded effect. So that's why for me, my business is pretty much all in virtual. And I like it because, yes, it gives me the freedom of location and whatnot, but I know that it helps people more like that.
You put on. I don't know if when I'm now. I gotta look and here. It would be so cool to have an instant replay in Zoom where
Yeah.
you
No,
push,
no,
right.
because people would just go back to the replay all the time.
Well, no, it's for you, the facilitator. When you come back and somebody says, "I didn't say that. I didn't say small," and you push the button, you're like, "Yeah, you did." right? Welcome, Ron Elgin, here also watching on virtual. So I really think
Lucky,
that
you know?
what's up?
And it's like people don't realize what comes out of their mouth.
No.
But when I help them, just like the lady who asked a question, the small question,
Yeah.
she didn't realize. But she actually gave a gift to 150, 70, 170 people in the room
Hmm.
of that positioning. And it changes something not just for the answer that she had, but it actually changes something in her mindset.
And then that's when you get excited. So one of the pieces here is that we're looking inside of what Sarah is really talking about, and ideally there's some things here that should be here inside of the future, right? I think Sarah just teleported to the future and came back. I think possibly.
Sorry, I had a pit stop to do in 2025.
Well, tell us, what did you see in the future, Sarah?
Plan for the future. And where I see the future is yes, the virtual is here to stay. There will be more of it, but there won't be only future, not only virtual. Like we're still tribes, we still need to have human connections, human contacts.
Yes.
Um, but they'll probably be less frequent, but deeper. Because we're going to be so relationships are built by the frequency of our interactions, not the length.
Hmm.
So in virtual, we're able to see each other more often. So
Yes.
when we actually see each other in person,
Yep.
we don't need to talk about the weather or things like that, like the relationship thing. That's already built. We can go deeper into the connection side of the relationship.
And faster. I would love to know, how do you design a virtual program? So, what are some of the core things you think about as you put together a virtual program that you deliver?
I think about that. I follow the journey. I think about the journey I want to bring people
Right.
in.
Journey mapping, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, where are they and where do I want to bring them and what are the different pit stops in there?
Hmm.
So all my programs are like 8 to 10 weeks and they're all recorded so people can come back and listen to them. But it's like, what are the fundamentals? And I'm a big fundamental person. So I have a program, for example, that's called Impactful. That's all on psycholinguistics and communication.
Yes.
And at first, we do start about how does the brain work? How does behavioral pattern work? Because it's all cumulative.
Hmm.
And yeah, so it's like, what is the journey I want to bring the person with? And how do I want them to practice it?
Hmm.
So, getting to practice ideas, pay attention to this. This is the homework this week. This is the homework this week. To be able to experience it, and play around with it.
Well, speaking around play around, I would love to enter the speed round of this podcast. Are you ready, Sarah
I'm
Gilbert, for the
ready or
engaging
not,
business
this is it.
speed round? Okay, great. So we're going to create a little magic here.
I
What's a boring fact about you?
I don't go out of my house much.
Who's your favorite speaker?
I probably would have to say Tony Robbins still.
Oh, I'm a graduate too.
Yeah.
What's your favorite speaker technique?
Getting the people to share amongst themselves so they can learn better.
Ooh, the breakout, right? The table
Yeah.
exercise. Good.
Table exercise, share with the person next to you. Just yeah.
The most valuable book you ever bought and read?
The end of average.
The End of Average. Who
Yeah.
wrote that?
I don't remember. I'm looking at it because it's in my library there. The end of average explains how we got to the educational system that we have now. And actually, you would really enjoy it. So it's the history of the educational system showing that the way that schools are built now, like started this time, ended this time, people only get only 20% reach the mastery level. Yet when we let people go at their own pace, they reach an 80% mastery level.
Oh,
That is the book that made me convert my business to online
oh.
so
I
people
invite
can
you.
reach the mastery level.
I invite you to come someday too, and also see the Technology Access Foundation, a program that got 100% of their kids into college from the inner cities of Seattle.
Yeah.
Push my lines. I think you'll be interested. Okay, most difficult yoga pose.
The compass.
What is
Still
the
working on
compass?
that one.
What is the compass?
It's you're sitting on the ground and your leg is actually right next to you right here and you hold it like this. Yeah. I'm
Okay,
still working on it.
apparently me too. Favorite skis. Favorite pair of skis.
Salomon. But
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, favorite ski resort.
It's probably in Montreal, in Quebec. It's Tremblant.
Oh. Have you been to
Yeah.
Whistler?
No,
Number one and number two in the world. Whistler and
I
Whistler.
know, but I don't know if I'm ready to, wait all that line and spend all that for like 3 runs in a day kind of thing.
It's kind of like a mansion for snow.
Yes.
Favorite podcast.
The Andrew Huberman Lab.
Ooh, I don't know that one. I'm gonna look that
Oh
one up.
my gosh. Yes, the Huberman Lab is one that's all on neuroscience and human behavior.
Wow. Favorite
Yeah.
strategy.
Getting into people to understand that all the strategies are based on emotions,
Oh, interesting. Strategies
that
based
we're
on.
seeking an emotions and we're here to help our clients also reach an emotion.
Yeah, I like
So
that.
get out of
Okay.
your head.
What talent do you have that isn't related to your work?
I'm a really good dancer.
What? Oh, you're a really good dancer.
Good dancer.
I thought you said I have a really good answer and then you paused.
It's
Okay. What brings you joy?
being outside, connecting with nature, and seeing light in somebody's eyes whose eyes were dim before.
Ooh, the light coming on. I would do like that moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is your wish for 2024?
Well, I'm actually at the end of the month, I'm leaving for Africa for a humanitarian trip.
Ooh,
My wish is that to be a life-changing trip, not just for me, but for them as well.
outstanding. Well, Sarah, thank you so much. So, I'll leave you with one thing here. If people could only remember one thing from this particular podcast, Sarah, what do you want that one thing to be?
Pay attention to what you say to yourself and out loud.
And I'll add on with that. Well, I'll add on here in the end show here. Sarah, thank you so much for sharing you and your strategies and your coaching with me and the people of Engaging Virtual Meetings podcast. I hope to see you in Denver. You coming to Influence?
Yes. Yes.
So I will tell you right now, there will be a special reason for you to be there for me, but I can't tell you what it is yet. Dun, dun,
You're
dun.
on.
Okay, good. So I'll see you there, and consider this invite from NSA, National Speakers Association's Northwest. We have a dinner. If you're available that night, we would love for you to come join us and meet all of our friends here in the Northwest. Okay, Sarah?
Thank you. I'll see you then.
Excellent. Thank you, Sarah Gilbert, of course, our strategist friend here. Check her website out. She has assessment and info there. And listen to the one thing: change your language. That's my final part of that assignment is think about one word that you're using that is not working for you and consider what can you change it to that could be more positive, and then watch and see what changes when you change to something as simple as one word. Now, the other word you want to hear is subscribe, share, like, and comment. These are all great words, so make sure and do all of them. If you want more episodes just like this, go to the engagingvirtualmeetings.online, where you can see all the back episodes and a new episode every Wednesday. My personal invitation for you to join me here October 1, 2, and 3, either in Seattle, on Zoom, or in one of our free YouTube channels. This is going to be amazing. We have 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 Hall of Fame speakers who will definitely give you something to be better in 2024. And if you want to be like Sara, go to engagingvirtualmeetings.com/meet, select interview, and you could be the next person, the next guest here on the Engaging Virtual Meetings podcast. Until next time, we'll see you later. This is John Chen, the author of the Amazon #1 hot new release, Engaging Virtual Meetings. I personally want to say thank you for listening to the Engaging Virtual Meetings podcast. It is my passion to help you eliminate bad virtual meetings. Make sure that you click subscribe so that you can get the latest episode of the Engaging Virtual Meetings podcast with all of the latest ideas. Hey, I want to meet you. If you want to talk about a virtual meeting challenge, or if you want to be the next guest on the Engaging Virtual Meetings podcast, just go to engagingvirtualmeetings.com/meet. That's engagingvirtualmeetings.com/meet, MEET, and find your best time to meet up. Thank you, and I look forward to engaging with you online.